Good morning. Oh, hi, your mind is blown. Welcome. Still trying to figure out okay. I have a new version of the thing I'm using for light echo, and sometimes it messes up, so I'm just trying to make sure she's talking. Which, she looks to be doing fine. Okay. So my plan is to draw another OC. I can't decide who, though. I've got too many. I mostly just have to decide who I want to talk about. Hi, Diary, welcome. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well. Right now, I'm just trying to decide who I want to draw. There's a lot of cats I want to draw, but my only hang up is deciding who I want to talk about. And some of the cats that I want to draw need developed more. I know I don't have to talk about who I'm drawing, but I wanna. Ignore our loud guest. My cat is doing something. I don't know what he's doing. I guess I'll draw one of these guys. I just have to decide which one. Or I draw them together and talk about them both. There we go. There's my answer. Anyway. What is happening? Quit making noise. Is this working? Okay. So where do I begin? I actually don't know what I want to draw. I really need more than like an hour after I wake up to decide these things. Hi Icy, welcome. Let's see. Okay. I'm seeing the vision in my head. Okay. So I actually have to mute for a second. Lovely. Give me a sec. Alright, sorry about that. Where was I starting? Let me look at this blank canvas again. Okay. So, I guess we'll start with Appleburn. Who, because the text is really small, is the red one. Okay, sorry, noises. But yeah, this girl. So, I guess to start, sorry, there's noises. I'm actually gonna mute again. Give me another, minute. Okay. So to start, Appleburn. Sorry, there's people walking around and it's distracting. So, Appleburn, I guess I should start. These are both Quarry Clan cats. And if you're not following, these are also, we're gonna just keep talking about apprentices alone until I get burned out. Anyway, so Appleburn and Husktooth are part of Quarry Clan. Though only Husktooth is clan born. So, Appleburn was born outside of the clans to an unknown rogue. Hello, welcome. Who, I'm never gonna name her bio parents, because they're just, not important. They're not gonna show up. And unless I get, like, a really good idea, I'm probably not gonna extend her family. Hi, Calico Kitty Meow. Welcome. Anyway, so she was born outside of the clans. Another reason I'm not going to bring up her bio family very much in the story is because she gets abandoned pretty young for unknown reasons, and she is picked up and raised by a fox queen. Would they be queens? I don't know, I guess. I think she looks a little too sad. Anyway, she's picked up by a fox queen who I have, not temporarily, I don't know. For now, oh, hi, Nightmare Ash. Many lurkers, many people. Anyway, if you look at Appleburn's toy house, you'll see I've named her fox mother Freedom. No reason, really. I literally just, it popped in my head. And I think that would be like a rough cat translation of the name. I don't know what her actual, like, fox name would be. I don't care to develop it right now. But, anyway. So, Appleburn is raised by foxes until she's, like, 4, 5 moons old. And she was like a baby when she was first picked up or first adopted by them. So even in like current day, she has a lot of fox mannerisms. And she has the habit of doing like little vocalizations, like fox noises, which cats find weird. Anyway, so she's living fine with her fox family until a Quarry Clan patrol. Yeah, kind of like vocal stimming. She does it a lot more when she's stressed. So yeah, I guess it is essentially vocal stimming. But yeah, so they're living all peaceful and stuff until a Quarry Clan patrol spooks the foxes and like kicks them off clan territory, and Appleburn is separated. So, and she's found by the patrol and brought into the clan, where she's given the name Apple Kit, but she's old enough that she doesn't need like an adoptive parent, so she just kind of I don't know, sits in the nursery for a moon or so until she's allowed to be apprenticed. What are you doing over there, cat? Anyway. So she's apprenticed to a warrior named, what did I name them? Hollow Pebble. And Hollow Pebble's like an average trainer. But he does really well with Appleburn, and she's just a quick learner in general. She's very quiet and focused, and has a habit of practicing something until it's perfect. When she was first brought into the clan, she didn't know. I mean, like, she spoke cat. No. I don't know how to explain it. She needed to learn cat language, essentially, because, well, she was raised by foxes. But she picked it up rather quickly. And kind of merged into clan life pretty quick. Anyway. All that to say, she's a fast learner, and actively sought out extra things to do, extra things to learn, extra lessons. And Hollow Pebble wasn't used to training such an enthusiastic cat. So he didn't really know what to do. And he kind of tried to refuse Applepaw and keep her on his, like, lesson plan. So she just went to the leader instead. And Slate Star would give her things to do. First, just as a, like, get out of here, weird child. But then as he saw that she kind of excelled at the tasks she was given, he took it a little more seriously. He was already training, well, let me think timeline-wise. Yeah, by this point, he was already training his own apprentice. Sorry, I had to think. I'm still working out the pre-disappearances. Anyway, he was already training Everest Paw, which is why he kind of dismissed Applepaw's enthusiasm at first. But yeah, eventually he was like, whoa, yeah, this is a serious cat. Anyway, all of that to lead up to, by the time Appleburn she's like barely 10 moons old. Slate Star decides that he wants to give her her final assessment. The plan was really just see what she could do. So she was allowed to join some of the older apprentices' final assessments. This would be the group before our oldest apprentices. They don't have any names right now because I'm again working on pre-disappearances stuff. I want to make allegiances for the pre-disappearances characters, and some designs for the important ones. But anyway, she was allowed to join purely because Slate Star was curious what she'd do. What he did not expect was for her to pass the assessment. And so she was made, so a spur of the moment, Slate Star decided Oh, well. Okay. Guess you're getting named today, too. Which Appleburn did not expect happening. I am going to pause that bit of the story a moment to talk about important relationship stuff for Appleburn, and this will bring Husktooth into it as well. So Appleburn she is an outcast. Hi Lumen, welcome. She's kind of known as that weirdo that speaks fox and like was just she was just found out in the territory. And she already didn't have too many friends. She was too old to really get close to the older apprentices. Give me a moment. I'm doing good. I don't have mods right now. Anyway. She looks a little weird, but so, yeah, she's an outcast. Where was I? Right. She was too old to really bond with the apprentices her age, or the kits her age. And she didn't really want to bother with the younger cats. Oh, that's cool. I did not know Saturn had that many moons. But as a young apprentice, she did end up getting kind of close to 2 cats. Fierce Paw, who, despite his name, he's nice. He's not like, despite his name, he's not that fierce. He's just a regular guy. But she got close to Fierce Paw and Husky Paw. Who I will... Yeah. Husky Paw, or this guy right here. Who I'm drawing right now. Sorry, my brain's loading. Yeah, that'll be easier. But, So yeah. They make like a semi-friend group. Husky and Fierce aren't really friends. Mostly because Fierce Paw is also friends with Golden Paw, who, mind my French, is an asshole. He just kind of sucks. But it was kind of a extrovert adopts the introvert kind of situation. And Fierce Paw isn't really keen at that point in time to do I want him looking up or do I want him looking down? It might be more interesting if they're both looking down. That's too down. But anyway. The point is the three are friendly to each other. Kind of. They are both friendly to Apple Paw. They don't really care about each other all that much. And Apple ends up even a little closer to Husky than she does Fierce. She's one of the few people that Husky told, or that Husky came out to, while he was trying to figure himself out. And she is one of the few cats that call him Husk Paw before the disappearances. By the way, anyone who doesn't already know, Husktooth is trans. If you have a problem with that, you can leave immediately. Anyway. So, I bring up that she has friends because, one moment. Okay. Micah? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. But, thank you. I think about these guys too much. I have too much thinking time on my hands. Anyway. So, we're gonna skip back to, Appleburn earns her name and is shunned more so than she already was by the older apprentices. Oh, thank you. I do a lot of streams where I talk about my character's lore. That's what like 90% of the drawing streams are. Plus I have lore written on my my toy house and DeviantArt, which are linked in the description. Anyway, she expected. She never really talked to Golden Pot anyway, because again, he's a asshole. But she hadn't expected Fierce Paw and especially Husk Paw to kind of side with him, and also stop talking to her. So that leaves, I don't like how this is coming out. I need the head to be bigger. That leaves Appleburn as the youngest warrior in the Warrior's Den. And without any friends. She no longer has apprentice friends. And she's not close with the warriors. So she's just kind of alone. Which she learns to deal with. She doesn't have to deal with it long, though, because, well, no. That's not how I want to word that sentence. Anyway, so she's dealing with that. And just kind of decides to move on from the situation. Give me a sec. Sorry, my dog loves to bark at things that don't need barked at. And he's gonna do it again. Give me a sec. So sorry about that. Where was I? Anyway, we're gonna fast forward like a moon-ish. It's not quite a moon later. Anyway, we are going to we're going to fast forward to a scene that I wrote, aka Huskpaw, Huskpaw earns his name or he passes his final assessment. He is the only one of the 3 apprentices tested that does. Because the other 2 he was tested with, Golden Paw and Fierce Paw, Golden Paw got hurt. And it was decided that that it wasn't a fair assessment of his skills, so he was going to be retested once he was healed. And Golden Paw attacked Golden Paw acted bad. He was just bad. There's actual context in the writing, which, yeah, whatever. But anyway, Huskpaw is the only one to earn his name. And so he is named Husktooth. He asks to go by his chosen name. You know what? I'll talk a little bit about Husktooth before I switch back to Apple Dusk. No, not Apple Dusk. Appleburn. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about this guy. So, Husktooth was born as Husky Kit, he was born in Quarry Clan to Ivy Bark and Clay Swoop. Who suck. I'm sorry, they suck. I love making characters who suck. They are... I mean, part of it is Ivy Dusk dealing with issues, some postpartum depression, plus Husky was born with some litter mates who did not survive. And that kind of took a toll on Ivy Bark as well. But even without that, she is just not a very attentive parent. And Clay Swoop is one of those dads that would rather be caught dead than having to spend more than the minimum amount of time with his child. He's got better things to do, like go hunting and fight strangers at the border. So yeah, Husktooth is not dealt the greatest starting hand at life. But he he becomes friends with Appleburn, and he's also kind of close with Everest Paw and Valley Paw. So he learns to cope with the lack of attentive parents. And then sorry, I'm thinking of the timeline again. A couple moons after Husky is apprenticed, for some reason, words are hard. For some reason, Ivy Bark and Clay Swoop decide that they want to have another litter of kids. Or they have another litter of kids, and Husktooth he adores his little siblings. He shows great interest in them, which kind of backfires for him because when Ivy Tooth, or why do I keep trying to call her Ivy Tooth? He has two siblings. Their names are Shepherd Kit and Selkie Kit. Why do his parents like dog names? I haven't figured that out yet. So yeah, Icy, have a good day. Thank you for stopping by. I guess. I haven't decided. Anyway. Things kind of, his care for his siblings kind of backfires, if you want to consider it backfiring. Essentially, Ivy Bark and Clay Swoop are just as inattentive of this litter as they were the last. But this time, they have a child who is not gonna let their siblings suffer. And so Husky kind of takes it upon himself to take care of Selkie Kit and Husky Kit when Ivy Bark decides she doesn't want to. Which is a hell of a thing to do, while also actively training as an apprentice, and also he's having some doubts about his gender, but there's no time to think about that right now. There's kittens to be cared for. So yeah, he kind of falls into the routine of caring for no, you know what? Screw that sentence. That sentence wasn't important. It's gone. As he's kind of dealing with things, he does eventually come to the realization that he doesn't feel right being a girl. He's not sure what to do with it, with those feelings. He tries to ignore it at first. And he tries to ignore it at first and just keep focused on his training, but eventually his mentor, Mallow Rose, kind of stops him and is like, what's up? What's wrong? And so he confesses these feelings to her, and she is super supportive. She's ready to help in any way she can. They brainstorm some nicknames. Warrior cat names are all kind of unisex, but so he could have stuck with the name Husky, but part of the reason he decides to go with shortening it to Husk is, I don't know why, whatever. The art is not arting right now. It's still not arting. Part of the reason he changes his name and kind of separates himself from the name Husky is partially because while Ivy Bark was not at all attentive, while both his parents were not very attentive, they still had expectations of their child. And they wanted essentially let me think of how I worded it before. They put high expectations on Husk, and he ends up equating some of those expectations with the fact that he's supposed to be like a perfect daughter. And his parents kind of expect he's gonna grow up, he's gonna be a warrior, he's gonna get a mate, he's gonna have kids, and he's gonna have like a normal life that they'd expect him to have. And so he kind of equates this name that he was given with the expectations of his parents. I cleaned this up way too much. I didn't need to do that. I was gonna line these anyway. But yeah, he connects his name to the expectations they have of him. So when he decides to actively go against those expectations, he also decides that he doesn't want to be connected to them through the name that he was given. I don't know how to best explain it. I don't know. I'm trying to write a trans character while not being that. I'm not cis, I guess. I am cis, but I don't know. Gender is weird, and I'm trying my best. And we're gonna continue on. Anyway, so let's fast forward to, so he was friends with Appleburn or Applepaw, and some important context was, I'm gonna bring up Goldenpaw again because he is important in all the wrong ways. I think this line art's too big. I think I'm gonna redo the line art. Few cats get along with Goldenpaw. He has a very big personality, and he is a bully. He also doesn't know how to stop when he's made a mistake. He's very full send it instead of thinking about his actions. And he is very loud in his opinions. So he was already kind of mean to Husk. He's mean to everyone, but when Appleburn earns her name, Goldenpaw kind of targets her, and he expects the older apprentices to side with him, and if they don't, if they side with Appleburn, they would get included on the bullying, I guess. I am not explaining it well. but Husk already doesn't want a lot of attention brought on him. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But yeah, he already doesn't want that much attention brought on him, and he, partially due to jealousy, because it's like kind of ingrained in these cats and in this society that like being a warrior is awesome, and like being born in this life is like what you want. So for an abandoned former rogue to be made be given her warrior name before the apprentices that are the like clan-born apprentices that are older than her, it feels wrong. And so Husk makes the decision to kind of ice out Applepaw or Appleburn. And while he feels bad about it, by the time he kind of decides, oh, you know what, that was the wrong decision, he feels like it's almost too late to fix anything. But again, fast forward like a couple weeks later, and he passes his own assessment, and puts a target on his back anyway because Golden Paw did not pass his assessment. But he doesn't Husk doesn't care at this point because during his naming ceremony, he asks for his name to officially be Husk instead of Husky. And he earns his name, and Appleburn, while it is awkward, she comes up to congratulate him, and they kind of it's kind of the opening steps to rekindling their friendship. And Husktooth is just, he's happy and ready to make things better. And then fate strikes, essentially. Or the story starts happening. While Husktooth is doing his silent vigil, something mysterious happens, and every cat older than 12 moons old, or every cat 12 moons old and older, so every adult cat, disappears without a trace. Every adult, I should say clan cat, this is a clan specific issue. But anyway, they disappear without a trace. And when cutting back to Appleburn, when she wakes up in the morning and the apprentices, or the warrior's den is empty, alarms kind of start going off in her head, because a little world building here. These clans are huge. This is mostly so I can justify having, there's between, like, at the low end there's like 15, 16 to I think the biggest clan has 22 cats. But to justify that many kits and apprentices existing in one clan, these clans are very big. They're like 40 to 60 cats big. So the apprentice's den, or the warrior's den, is like never empty. Especially not early in the morning. And when Appleburn leaves, like goes outside, the clearing is desolate, which is, again, that is not a thing that happens in a clan this big. There are always at least half a dozen to a dozen cats existing in like camp at any given time. And it is so quiet. It's, I don't know, I hope I am explaining, or I hope I'm getting across how weird and like off this situation is. Or how weird it feels. Anyway, so Appleburn goes to, she looks around for any sign of like anyone, but all she finds is she finds apprentices in the apprentices' den, of course. She finds Husktooth's siblings along with their friend Rune Kit in the nursery, and the rest of the nursery kittens are in the healer's den, because some kitten cough was going around. And so next she goes out of camp and finds Husktooth, and she asks him, like, did anyone pass by? And when he says no, they return back to camp, and the story really kind of sets in for these guys. Thinking again how best to explain without just rehashing the thing I wrote yesterday. As everyone wakes up and it becomes clear to Appleburn that the adults are gone, she comes up with a plan. Because of course a few things have to be done. One, they need food, because there were no dawn patrols to get food, and there are 20 cats that need fed. So she takes charge. She sends out hunting patrols, or she sends out a hunting patrol, and she sends one cat to inspect each of the other clans. Because they need, her idea is that they need to figure out if their clan was the only one affected. Alright, see ya. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. I don't know why my words decided not to work. Oh shoot, I really want to finish what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep talking for a little longer. I do have to end stream soon. Where was I? Anyway, Appleburn decides that they need to figure out if Quarry Clan is the only one affected, or if the other clans are also missing their adults. And she takes the task of going out to look at Prairie Clan. I need to draw a map of these territories, but essentially Quarry Clan is like here. Q. And we've got like a lake. But so Quarry Clan's here. It blends into Foliage Clan. They also border Reservoir Clan, and then there's Mire Clan, and then there's Prairie Clan. Mire Clan's more like this. Reservoir is like... Anyway. That's a basic setup. Yeah, so cats are sent to these clans, and she goes to Prairie Clan. And they discover that no, they are not the only clan that is suffering with this. The other clans also are only apprentices and kits. And so she takes charge yet again, despite the protests of really only Golden Paw. The other cats are too shaken up to really have much of an issue at the moment with Appleburn taking charge. She and Husktooth are the only warriors around, so it makes sense that they would know what to do, even though they don't know what to do. But anyway, Appleburn continues to take charge, and she works to send message to each of the other clans that they need to meet up and kind of discuss what's happening. Which does end up happening. They do meet up and discuss, and it's decided in that meeting that each clan should have a temporary leader. And Prairie Clan chooses Appleburn. And each clan's decision making on what leadership they need is different. Prairie Clan also votes on a temporary deputy who ends up being Husktooth. And now Appleburn and Husktooth, who haven't talked like at all besides besides Apple congratulating Husk on becoming a warrior, they haven't really talked at all. Now they have to lead a clan together. And Golden Paw, who just loves to be here, he is so happy to be antagonizing the plot. Or I should say, he continues to be a nuisance. He tries to argue, like, why are we making the weird fox girl leader? And he is shot down. Or his attempts to rile the clan don't work. So his next plan of action is to say, Well, I think the older apprentices should be given their names. They should get their warrior names. Which Appleburn and Husktooth are like, no, why would we do that? And he tries to convince them with it'll make Quarry Clan look stronger. Yeah, it'll make Quarry Clan look stronger. It will tell the other clans that they shouldn't mess with Quarry Clan. And Apple and Husk are still like, no, we're not doing that. And so Golden Paw does it anyway. He does it anyway. He announces that he wants to be called Golden Sun now. That he believes he has earned his warrior name. And he also drags Fierce Paw into this. And he does it mostly just to be like, look, I'm not doing it just for me. Fierce Paw, I think Fierce Paw has also earned his name. And he announces to the clan that his name is now Golden Sun, and Fierce Paw will be named Fierce Sun. And he is not argued against. Apple and Husk kind of just give up and are like, whatever. Do what you want. Which is the wrong decision, because Golden Sun takes that as, well, I can do whatever I want. Do I want to add? I'm gonna see how it would look if I added like a little paw tufts. Do I like that? Let me quickly figure out if I like the paw tufts, and then I will continue a little more. Though I guess I'm not finished. I still need to color these, but I was meant to end stream like half an hour ago. I just really wanted to talk about these guys. I like these guys. Do I like... I don't know. Let me decide if I like these paw tufts, and then stream will be over. I think they're kind of cool. I think I might also give him a little tufty butt. Anyway. So that's the beginning of the story, essentially. And from there, things will escalate, and I don't know. Words are hard. I will possibly continue. I mean, if I don't have anything else planned for tomorrow, I will be talking about these guys again. Maybe not these guys specifically, but this story as a whole will be talked about again. Oh, hi, Sea Blaze Claw. Welcome. Anyway, I have more than run out of time. So, with all that, thank you guys for watching. I will be back again tomorrow. Same place, same time. As always. I hope you guys have a good day. And I hope you enjoyed the extra long stream. Bye.